The Texans continue to try and find somebody to potentially take on Deshaun Watson, only the likelihood is he doesn't play this year. So there's been rumors about a bunch of teams, and then Charles Robinson came out and was like, look, here's the deal. Everybody else has fallen by the wayside. It feels like Miami is going to be the most likely destination for Deshaun Watson, and he had the asking price of 3 firsts, I think, in 2 seconds. So here's Brian Flores when he was asked about the team's reported interest in Watson.
Reports, speculation, not things we really get into. Look, I understand the question, but as I've said in the past, any conversations that we have or don't have with other clubs are going to be internal. I've been pretty steadfast about that with our players, other clubs. That'll remain the case. I'm very confident in Tua. He's done a lot of good things this spring, this offseason, this training camp. Played well last week. And again, my conversations with the players, are going to always remain between me and that player. I talk to a lot of players every day. Obviously, I spend a lot of time with the quarterbacks. But yeah, those conversations will remain between myself and that player.
All right, and here's Charlie Weiss, of course, famously the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, obviously all part of the Patriots family, which so too is Brian Flores, although he and Flores did not actually work together, but there's a mutual respect. And Charlie lives like an hour from the Dolphins practice facility. Here was Charlie Weiss when he joined me last week, and I asked him about his evaluation of Tua.
I spent the day with the Dolphins. You would be convinced that Tua was the answer if you were there with me that day.
Okay.
There was absolutely no indication on or off the field that he's not the man, on or off the field. Now, I have a one-day reference, Doug.
Yes.
He was just a stud. And you should hear the players. You talking about somebody glowingly. I mean, when you're interviewing defensive linemen and they're saying Tua's my guy, I mean, he has the team won. He is the Pied Piper.
Now look, I'm not Charles. Not only I consider a friend, but also he's respected in the business. He's doing his job. He would not do it unless he had the proper sourcing and saying this. But this is the problem with these potential trade discussions. It can tear a team apart. Remember the Dolphins, whatever you want to say about Tua's up and down rookie season, they did win 10 games last year, which by any definition in the NFL is considered a success. 16 games, you win 10, that's a good season, especially for the Dolphins. And when they were working through 2 quarterbacks, and at times they had to pull Tua in order to get those wins. Now, look, we can make excuses for it and say they're just trying to get an appreciating asset, try and buy cheap and sell high, whether they hold on to Deshaun or hold on to Tua. But I severely doubt there's about 0.0001% of doubt in my mind that Charles Robinson, I know he didn't make it up, but maybe his sourcing is wrong or maybe it's I don't know. But I have to leave myself at least the possibility that somebody put that out there, whether it could have been from another team who just wanted to see the Dolphins kind of disintegrate. And they wanted to see the Dolphins very well could disintegrate because if he wasn't interested at all in Deshaun Watson, there's a very simple answer. Jason Stewart, you're the producer of this show, asked me the question about the reports of interest in Deshaun Watson. I'll play Brian Flores. Or don't. Dan Byer, you want to ask me about
sure.
Go ahead. Ask me about the reported interest.
All right. Coach, do you have any reported interest in Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson?
Tua Tagovailoa is our quarterback. When you have a franchise quarterback, you don't have any interest in another quarterback. So the answer is no. When you're married, you don't have interest in another woman. That's the good way to not be married much longer.
Just to follow up, Coach, there's been no talks between the two sides about Deshaun Watson?
I'm not privy to the talks. All I can tell you is that when we have had discussions about the quarterback position and if there's an opportunity to bring in any other player to even compete for the starting job, I have told our management team that Tua Tagovailoa is my quarterback for the foreseeable future. That's it. So yeah, I'm sure that people talk about guys all the time, and there is a player who I cannot mention his name, who potentially could be on the move, and he does play quarterback. Very, very fair question that you asked. And the only thing I can tell you is my quarterback, God forbid, unless God forbid he gets hurt, is Tua Tagovailoa. That's how you answer the question if you have no interest in another quarterback, right? Am I wrong?
No, you are correct, sir.
Okay. So I thought Brian did a very good job of explaining, hey, look, we don't talk about players, and we just talk about our conversation with players and whatever, and maybe they're kicking the tires. But if you can't say, no, we're not interested, and Tua is absolutely our guy, then it tells you all you need to know. And it makes Tua's job much more difficult. And it potentially fractures a team in half. Are they playing for Tua? Are they waiting on Deshaun? Is Tua just a placeholder? Why would they draft Tua so high, make such a big deal of it, and stand by him and say all these things, and then at the first sign of trouble, you bounce him?